So, part 2 of the Blueprint series is already here, where I teach things that no one else in the Memecoin ecosystem is currently talking about, because they don't want you to know anything, and they simply want you to stay within the dumb money audience so that you can be their exit liquidity. As I already mentioned in the previous video, I'm doing the Blueprint series first, where you are going to learn everything you didn't even know existed, and then we're going to start exposing all the trending systems of how, when and why exactly the top 1% of the KOLs are where they are. In today's video, we'll cover apps and platforms that will help you to understand how the real smart money funds and institutions move, when they move, and how you can capitalize on it when it comes to meme coins. So without further ado, platform number 1, GMGN. First and foremost, if you're new here, you should get comfy with the following trading terminal, and that's GMGN. This is basically your bread and butter when it comes to real-time meme coin trading. However, I've chosen GMGN not because of the new pair trading features, but rather because in my opinion, they have established themselves the way any of their competitors should have a long time ago. Instead of endorsing on-chain crime, like Axiom for example, GMGN was actually the first attempt going against it by providing tons of features that allow you to see everything as it is. Whether we're talking about scam coin launches, the so-called vamps, or coins designed to trap you and extract your portfolio. Now, when it comes to the main features that I've chosen to trade on GMGN for, first of all, you can trade on multiple chains, such as Solana, Binance, Base and Monad. Of course, the leading ones are Solana and Binance, so all the volume and liquidity is on those two, but it's good to have access to other chains as well, because you never know when a new opportunity might pop, you know? Second thing, even though I prefer not to trade coins with low liquidity anymore, or in other words, the so-called new pairs, and by the way, by new pairs I mean all three of these tabs, I still like the fact that I can arrange and filter things out according to my liking or strategy, right? For example, the first thing that you should always do when you filter things out is exclude Uxento and Rapid Launch. I'll dive deeper into what these two stand for in the upcoming series, but to keep it short for now, not a single soul that uses any of these two will ever try to do an honest token launch. People that use Uxento and Rapid Launch for developing coins are here to extract your money and collect their creator fees. 99% of the coins launched on Uxento and Rapid Launch don't even make it above 100k market cap. So if you're new here trying to understand the way this game works, simply stay away from Uxento and Rapid Launch. And matter of fact, if you're new here, don't even bother touching any of these three tabs initially unless you're willing to lose money, okay? I'm here to teach you how to make money by making moves the way smart money, funds and institutions do, not to gamble on new pairs. However, if you feel like diving into a new pairs right away, which I don't suggest if you're new, well, feel free to check out my business partner's YouTube channel, as he's the one who pretty much specializes in these things. Anyways, third feature that I use GMGN for is the trending token section. My only reason for using this section is because if you filter it out by 24 hours, for example, you can see all the top trending and mostly high market cap coins. If you're wondering why, well, you need to understand that some of these coins might have a huge potential of being invested into by funds, exchanges, and other smart money related circles. I mean, just by looking at some of the biggest names in the financial market industry, we can clearly see that even they hold certain coins that initially were launched as meme coins, but turned into a way bigger movement and product. Another major feature that I personally use in different ways is the tracking feature. By default, KOLs mainly teach you how to track their own wallets, or how you can use the X tracker to spot early tweet play opportunities, but to be honest, most of the time, if you do tag along and buy only because you saw a KOL buy something, you are going to be used as exit liquidity. I mean, why else do you think they buy tiny amounts of supply after they have already multi-walleted a position in a coin? Obviously, because they want you to see that emoji of theirs on your charts so they can trigger you buying in. As for the X tracker and the so-called tweet plays, most of the time it's also pretty useless, unless you're an ultimate gambler. Even though some of the tweets are really good, the problem is that people who develop coins on Uxento and Rapid Launch, for example, they sit and wait for an opportunity to quick launch a coin based on a good tweet so that they can stack all the bundles on your head. So once again, if you're new here, don't even get involved. Now, how do I use the tracking feature? Aside from tracking KOLs and posts on X, first of all, you can track smart money wallets, or wallets that are connected to certain people that have ties to funds or institutions, for example. Second, once you open any coin, you can go to the display menu and choose what you prefer to see on your charts. In my case, I always make sure that I see the following: my own position lines, developers aka devs buys and sells, and this by the way includes not only the deploy wallet, but also the wallets that are connected to the devs deploy wallet. Then obviously the wallets that I'm tracking, KOL wallets, but sometimes I turn those off, X calls to see who and when mentioned, contract address of our token on X, and finally Telegram and Discord calls, so that I can also see whether any huge Discord or Telegram groups have mentioned the contract address again. Anyways, there are tons of other features that I use GMGN for, such as for detailed transaction analysis, multi-wallet clusters and bubble maps, holder distribution, devs history, and just overall token metrics. But when it comes to this specific video, it's not the right time to discuss all the minor details yet, because considering the fact that you're new to this, we need to go through other things first and take it step by step, so that if you decide to hop into a venture like Memecoin trading, you can do it properly in 2026. By the way, if you make your mind up to use GMGN, I'll leave my referral link in the description below. Next up, platform number 2, Nansen. So Nansen is an on-chain analytics platform that shows you what the best wallets in crypto are doing before the crowd reacts. Not charts, not predictions, not signals. It reads the blockchain and answers one core question: where is experience aka smart money moving right now? So if you're wondering why this matters in Memecoin trading, well, most retail traders look at price after it moves, buy narratives after they trend, and follow influencers aka calls after positions are already built. Platforms like Nansen and others that I'll break down in a moment actually can give you an edge, and if you put your head down, lock in and learn how to use the data to your advantage, oftentimes you can even be ahead of all these degenerate KOLs. You need to stop slacking and start approaching this game like you're really trying to make it. Who cares about a 50k market cap topper a KOL called, when you can learn how to analyze on-chain data and see when the actual smart money funds or institutions are accumulating supply of a coin and creating charts like these. Once again, if you're here to gamble in a reckless fashion, then these series are not for you. If you're here to learn and more importantly, turn this knowledge into action, then you have landed on the right channel. People who are the most profitable in long term never gamble on new pairs for a 10x while risking to lose their whole port. They rather rely on data than sentiment and catch an opportunity like this one, for example, which ironically would have been the same 10x but on a coin that has already been established. Anyways, when it comes to Nansen, it lets you see wallet behavior, not opinions, track capital flows, not hype, understand positioning, not just candles. Basically, Nansen doesn't tell you what to buy, but rather shows you who is buying, how early, and how confidently. In more simple language, with Nansen, you can track smart money by using their tools in order to identify whales, institutional money, repeatable patterns, and smart money wallets with high win rates. And by the way, it doesn't mean you have to copy trade them. I'll do a separate deep dive tutorial on Nansen and show you how I personally use it to my advantage. In case you already want to check it out yourself, I'll leave a link in the description below, but I must warn you that the main smart money related features are only available to the paid Pro plan users. Also, I'm currently in talks with some of their team and I'll try to arrange a deal so that we can get it cheaper than a retail user. Moving on, platform number 3, Arkham. Majority of people associate Arkham with a trading exchange, but in our case, we're going to use it only for Intel. So overall, Arkham is about identity and relationships on chain, if that makes sense. Instead of just seeing random wallet addresses, the tools on Arkham help you understand who might be behind a specific wallet, where the funds came from, and how wallets are connected to each other. Just so you understand, it's not the same as wallet tracking on GMGN or smart money tracking on Nansen. For example, if we dump it down for a moment, if a token is pumping, most people ask, should I buy? While Arkham actually lets you ask a better question: who is moving the supply? The best thing about it, you can trace funding paths, see if multiple wallets are connected, check whether money is coming from exchanges, funds, teams, or older wallets. This is especially important in meme coins, where one operator can control multiple wallets and make something look organic when it's actually not. You might ask, okay, but why use Arkham when we have already got bubble maps on GMGN, right? Well, first of all, bubble maps show real-time data on that one specific token that you're analyzing at that very moment. While on Arkham, you can dig much deeper and find connections or data that might even make you rethink buying a coin. Once again, even though you still can use these tools on new pairs, I personally mainly use them on already established meme coins, altcoins, and other category products. So basically, Arkham doesn't tell you what to buy. It helps you avoid bad assumptions. It's the difference between guessing and actually understanding what's happening behind the scenes. So if you're serious about crypto and meme coins specifically and want to stop trading blindly, tools like these are how you start thinking like a researcher instead of a gambler. So don't be stupid and don't buy into hype like dumb money does. Rather, rely on data, not sentiment like smart money does. Platform number 4, Dune Analytics. So if you're completely new and you haven't heard about Dune before, that's forgivable. If you have been here for some time and haven't heard about Dune before, well, start cleaning up the list of people that you follow. So Dune is about on-chain data at scale. It basically lets you turn raw blockchain data into dashboards that show what's actually happening under the hood. Things like user growth, volume, protocol revenue, token emissions, and real usage. If I would need to dump it down a little, basically this is where you come on a daily basis to understand what's happening with a specific product or market in real time. For example, one of the things that I check daily is the Memecoin Wars dashboard. As you can see, it provides us with all the information and numbers in relation to such launchpads as Pump Fund, Bonk, or Bags. You can check how many tokens are launched in the past 24 hours, how many graduated if they did, total 24-hour volume on all the launchpads, active addresses, which means active traders, and even how much revenue each launchpad has generated. By being informed about these numbers, you can sort of already understand where we are at right now in terms of market conditions, right? And in some cases, a certain protocol, launchpad, or other structure, let's say, might be trending on X, right? But then you hop on Dune and you see that maybe it was all a manufacturer hype and the protocol, product, or launchpad is not really following through when it comes to actual data. For example, if I were to long, short, or simply invest in Pump Fund's native token right now, first things first, I would come over to Dune and see where Pump Fund is standing at when it comes to numbers. And same goes to any other product. Aside from Memecoin Wars dashboard, there are tons of valuable information that you can acquire in Dune. As you can see, if you simply go through the discovery section, you can get all the real-time data of anything you prefer instantly. For example, check overall DEX metrics, or maybe you want to see how all the currently active trading bots and terminals on Solana are performing, right? Or I don't know, you made a lot of profits in crypto and now you can decide which crypto card to get. So you hop on here and see which one has the largest deposit volume and which is the most preferred by other traders and investors. So to sum it up, personally, I use Dune on a daily basis because as somebody who prefers smart money ways instead of reckless gambling, I make my investment and trading decisions based on data, not because somebody told me to. Last one, definitely worth to mention, Dexscreener. So if you remember, GMGN allows us to view 3 different tabs on new pairs and a whole section for all the trending tokens, right? Well, when it comes to Dexscreener, this is where you can see real-time market activity on all chains. It lets you see price, volume, liquidity, trades, and pair activity the moment a token starts trading. This is without a question a must-have tool in your arsenal, and let me explain why in simple terms. While a trading terminal like GMGN shows you all the new pairs and trending tokens, don't forget that you're not going to be sitting in front of the screen 24/7, right? Meaning that while you're away doing something else or even sleeping, the market doesn't stop and it doesn't wait for you. So the coins will keep on coming out every minute, and hour by hour they will get flooded out of the new pair history and even out of the trending token section. For that reason, we've got Dexscreener, because regardless when you hop on it, you're going to see all the top runners, whether those are low cap, mid cap, or high cap coins. Oftentimes, you might even see an old token suddenly come back to life out of nowhere and start heavily trending on Dexscreener. That's something you wouldn't catch anywhere else. else. And by the way, that's why you need to combine all the tools that I mentioned to potentially catch such opportunities, where a dead or neutral coin from even a year ago suddenly gets picked up by smart, institutional or exchange money and pushed to 9 figures in market cap. Aside from that, a couple more things that you must know as a newbie. Once you open a token, most of the time, you're going to see this tokens banner here on the right. Basically, it means that after the coin was launched, at a certain point, either the dev or somebody else paid approximately like $400 just to add this banner and socials here. It's nothing biggie, but oftentimes shows some sort of dedication towards the token by the dev or tokens community. Regardless, in my opinion, any established token should have the Dex banner paid. As for the new pairs, most of them are farms and don't survive about 20k market cap, so nobody pays the Dex on those. Lastly, similar to what you can do on GMGN, you can also check some more detailed information about any coin down here, such as transactions, traders who made the most money, KOLs, holder distribution, and of course, bubble maps. However, personally, since now I trade or invest only after I've done a full-on research on a coin, if by any chance I find something very interesting on Dexscreener, I just copy the coin's contract address and take it straight to GMGN, Nansen, and Arkham for a proper analysis. Anyways, if you're new here, I hope you're actually learning from these blueprint series. But remember, having knowledge is not enough to make things happen, okay? You need to take action as well. So make sure to check out the tools that I mentioned in this video and lock in, because nobody is going to do that for you. I can provide all the top tier upper echelon information to you, but it won't be worth a thing if you don't put it to the test. As for more detailed deep dives on each tool, such as Nansen and Arkham, most likely I'll keep that for once the Discord server is up and create a private playlist for our members. That's it for today's video. Big shout out to everyone who's supporting me. We're only getting started here. All the links in the description below. See you in a bit.